Good evening and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Golden Lap. Season 9, Race 3. Welcome back guys, welcome back. Now the first thing you might notice is that the face cam is not on. No, it is not. Turn the face cam off just for a little bit. It may come back at some point, but for the minute we're just going to have the face cam off. I hope that doesn't kind of drastically change like anything about the channel for you guys. I'm still here, I'm still in the exact same kind of playing the games in the exact same way, but the face cam is gone. So let's get into it. Let's not hang about. Right, first things first, let's have a look at the standings. Edward King is currently absolutely bossing it, you know, like BAWS, like bossing it at the top. 50 points, 16 clear of the Etzolini driver of Anders Nilsson, and 16 points clear of Paul Woods in the Wayland as well. He is 28 points clear of Henny Holgersson. And then we've got former night driver Henri Lefebvre, James Fletcher in the Etzolini, and former night driver George Bregman, or Jorge Bregman, almost slipped there. And we've also got Luana Lovera down low as well, another driver who has driven for us, but only on 1 point at the minute, so a little bit of catching up to do for Lovera. Now, on the team standings, we are bossing it, like I say. 20 points clear of Etzolini with 2 wins under our belt. Obviously, Henny Holgersson has pulled in some points as well in the last couple of races. We look at the calendar, we'll see that. And I was correct. Overtaking is tough. It's even tougher on the narrow tracks. So when we were kind of trying to push Holgersson and see if we could get the overtake done, well, it's also a tough track to get that done. So I'm not really too willing, let's say, to hold that 5th place against Henny Holgersson. I think Henny Holgersson may just have a good race here in Argentina. So second thing we've got to do is the press conference. So let's get into that. Thank you to everyone who dropped a comment. I really appreciate it. I don't usually count how many comments there are, but you know, we tend to get maybe a dozen, sometimes less, sometimes more. On the big season finale ones, we got a big load of comments. So, you know, the channel is going along nicely. We're 897 subs. Guys, that's all you guys. So, first comment from Opa. King Edward is really a monster. Yeah, look, we've got to kind of steer into this King Edward thing. He is, you know, he's won the first 2 races quite well. So, lapping everyone who didn't get a podium. What would the team's reward for King Edward be if he lapped the driver in 2nd place? If he managed to do that, the thing is, that would require lapping Nilsson and Woods and, you know, everyone who's getting podiums. Obviously, Henny Holgersson not getting a podium just yet. But that would require lapping some really fast drivers, and I don't know if I see that happening. If he did, it would kind of be hard to argue about him being anything but the #1 driver going forward. You know, it would be a little bit kind of tough to take that away from him because he's clearly just quicker than everyone else. So that is something we're going to have to think about. But yeah, that is a good question from Opa. Thank you for that. Thank you for Hitchin Baz, who dropped a comment as well. Welcome back. Glad to have you back. The 1 season blip didn't really lose us much. No, we did have a tough season, and even then, Henny Holgersson brought it back really well at the end of the season. So, we still, I wouldn't even class season 8 as a bad season. Not really. You know, we still did quite well. But yeah, welcome back. Victor's press conference now. Inside sources tell me that Holgersson is somewhat upset with the higher management at night, stating that Edward King has been treated in favour. Oh, okay. The head management at night, stating that Edward King has been treated in favour of Holgersson and that Holgersson wants the team to treat him as the #1 driver after the amazing end to last season. Well, I'm not going to reveal my answer just yet, but you will learn the answer to that one, Victor, so just hold fire for me. A comment from Chesshead saying there was possible rubber on Holgersson's tyres. There was, but yeah, just because it's a narrow track, it was difficult to get the overtake done. Aaron Conway, next question. Press conference, another win for King Edward. But another disappointing result for Holgersson, who find himself battling 2 ex-teammates in Lefebvre and Bregman. Ezzolini's dominance in the early 70s was partly down to both cars running 1 and 2 in almost every race. Considering he's been nowhere near the podium spots in either race so far, that's not quite true, is it? I mean, he lost the podium in the first race with about 20 meters left on the track, so that's not quite true. But what will he need to do? Well, again, I'm going to kind of hold fire on that. Actually, I'm not going to hold fire. That links to the answer to the last question with Victor, is that Henny is going to be given the parts for this next race. I'm going to back him. I'm going to back him up and see if he can do it. I think Henny deserves it. I'll be honest. I think Henny deserves it. So we are going to give him the parts, basically. Okay, in the press conference, Adam Hammer has another question. Actually, there's a couple of comments. Thank you, Adam, for that. Woods has had 2 really good races. Do you believe he's motivated to get back on his former team or just to beat them and show them their mistake? Yeah, I mean, Woods is doing really well, isn't he? Like, I think he's got... What did he get? 34 points. That's going to be a fastest lap, 1, 18, yes, plus 15. Is that correct? Is it? Yeah, it is, yeah. So he's got 2nd place and a 3rd place with a fastest lap in there as well. If he could beat Anders Nilsson, that would be something. Now, I'm going to link this to your next question, Adam, which is, does Fletcher silence the skeptics with this 4th place? Or are the expectations of Ezzolini much higher? Will he always be compared to Ward? Yeah, maybe. Ethan Ward is such a story that I mean, he's probably winning these. I don't know if is he winning these races over Edward King? Would that be what's happening? I don't know. With Woods and Mendes finishing on opposite sides of the spectrum, as in Wayland, yeah, so Mendes has only got 8 points. Paul Woods has got 34. So they're at the other end of the grid, you know. They're not really competing with each other. Do you view Wayland as a legit threat? That's kind of tough to say. They're running in 3rd right now, and they're only 30 points back. Now, if you think about one DNF losing you, let's say, I don't know, 12 points, and they get a double points finish, then they probably are going to get points back on us. So I don't know if I see them as like an absolute really big threat, but I do have to recognize that they still have good drivers and they could cause problems if we're not careful. So yeah, good question though, Adam. And Adam actually says, yeah, look, with King having a nice lead in the points, it may be interesting to give Holgersson all the best parts and see what he can do. That's exactly what we're going to do, Adam. So good thinking. Cody, next question. Cody says, all hail King Edward. As a presumably British GM, did you go to the meet and greet with Queen Elizabeth II? There's a lot of publicity around her presence at the Francis Hollow. I don't. Did Queen Elizabeth II go to Silverstone? Did she go to British Grand Prix? Let me have a Google on that one. Did Queen Elizabeth II ever visit the British GP? Definitely yes. No. Yes? Ah, right. Okay, so it doesn't look like she attended an actual British Grand Prix. However, there was a Formula One race in 1950 that it seems like she did visit. No? Apparently not. Apparently she didn't. It's not. It's the Queen Mother. Right, so the Queen Mother, I think, was also named Elizabeth. So I don't... Yeah, look. Yeah, maybe she wasn't all that into F1, you know? You know, she had a lot going on, so maybe she wasn't all that into F1. I do know that she was definitely into her horse racing. So, you know, she was into racing, just a slightly different kind. Okay, good question though, Cody. I like that one. Great race for King. This from Panos. Great race for King. Tough luck for Holgersson. What does the debrief say for Holgersson in his... Is it his racecraft, soft tyre combination, or the lack of burn that caused him the early setbacks? Well, we do tend to burn at the start of the race, but then it's only like we kind of keep that going for a couple of laps, and then if it's not really in the plan to keep burning, I kind of hold fire, save fuel, and burn at the end. So I think maybe Holgerson just had a bit of an off day. Let's call it that. Cobra, last question. Pen letters here from Ridgemont Fast Times. King has shown remarkable stamina in these first races, setting a pace that few can even entertain the idea of matching. What precautions is Knight taking to ensure that this level of performance can be safely maintained? Holgerson is last year's hero, beating King in the points, but seems to be struggling, achieving the same results this year. What is his plan to get back on the podium? Right, well, the plan is going to be explained right now. So that'll be the end of the press conference, guys. Thank you so much for your comments. Again, always, I appreciate it. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the garage. And we are going to, well, for a start, we're going to build a new part. This is looking like a power track as well. But there are some turns. So maybe a chassis wouldn't be the worst thing to build here. We'll build a chassis. And that will be 3423. Wow, that's a pretty dang good one. That will go to Henny Holgerson, which boosts his car quite significantly. And then what we will do is a swap. So the parts will change over. Henny will have the better parts in this next race. So he's going at 3220. Edward King is going at 3103. We've got everything above the 60 mark. So that's pretty good. We've got a lot of money, but we don't really need to go overboard. You know what? We actually can. We can do 2 upgrades across the board just to get above 70%, which is nice and even to both drivers there. And that chassis of 3270 has been boosted quite a lot. I mean, it's probably a bit of a lottery as to which parts get the boost and when, but we've got the money to do it, so we're going to do it now, guys. Thank you for the pre-race. We're going into quali. And it's going to be overcast, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of rain. There's a bit of rain to start, but it's going to go away and the track will improve. So hopefully this time we can have a good quali. Let's get going with our first tune on both cars, and then we'll send them out as soon as we can. So Jan Schaub, LeBron, where are you? There you are. Partied a bit too hard. Well, that is not what you want to be doing. So Edward King goes out first. Holgerson follows. ×2 speed. Get the sectors open. And there is the entire lap. Let's see if Edward King, and in his kind of, he's in the slower car this week, or this race weekend. Let's see what he can do and what Henny Holgerson can do in his, better car, better parts. Giving the parts to Henny Holgerson, I want to see him fly. And that is a pretty good start from the drivers. You can see that Henny they are putting in purple sectors, but Anders Nilsson is kind of absolutely wrecking those. Holgerson does have the fastest third sector at the moment, but Anders Nilsson is just quite something else, isn't he? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to tune up Henny Holgerson first, and we will focus up on the best numbers available. So 4 points to spend for a minimum of 5 is a yes. And the same again here. Now we've got nothing like particularly good on this side. These are a bit risky, so I'm going to go for the less risk option there. And then we've got a nice 4 for 4, a 2 for 2, and then I've got 1 point left. I may as well spend it, and we get 1 from it. That is a pretty good little tuning session there for Henny Holgerson. Now, next up, it's going to have to be the engine. No, it's going to have to be the steering. Look at that, 29.43. It's going to have to be the steering that we focus on. And all of these so far, oh, that's not a great one. Let's see. Oh, I got 5 out of that. That was good. And 30. So bang on average for Edward King. But that is A-okay. That's really good. And now, he's got the weaker steering. Let's see if he can kind of, compensate for that, drive quickly. He's not that far behind Henny, if we're being honest. But Henny should be able to speed up significantly over the course of this qualifying session. That's what I want to see. Unless he gets blocked. Kind of looks like he's been blocked by Ambrosio. But no, he's got past and he's in the zone. Edward King is kind of stuck behind our Lovera and Bregman, which is going to slow him down. Holgersen has gone purple in every sector. King has gone green in every sector, but Henny Holgersen is currently a second and a half faster. But would you look at that? Anders Nilsson over here, purple sector, followed by a white sector. Will he go fastest? Where is he? He's there. He's just here, going around the last corners now. Let's see what he puts it. Oh, no, tune up. Don't waste time. Let's tune up as well. Yeah, that's very good. Okay, a bit of a risky one here. 5 for a 2. Gets 15. Very nice. And 2 off the last is okay as well. That's pretty dang good. Holgersen, you're next. It's a bit of an even one for Holgersen. So, spending 3 to guarantee 4. Yeah, we'll take that. Spending 4 to guarantee 5. We'll take that as well. That's pretty good. There's a 3 and a 3. A 2 and a 2. And we'll spend this last 5 points here on this slightly risky one. And we'll get a full 18 out of it. What? That is how we do it. Okay, we're going to wait. Holgersen goes out first. King goes out second. A little bit of a gap between them. But hopefully, they'll both get open track. That's really good. That's what we want. So Nilsson only managed a white sector 3 as well. So a really good first sector, but doesn't manage to keep it up over the course of the entire lap. And that's not what he wants to be doing. Holgersen is in the zone again. It's almost like Holgersen is like a confidence driver in that we've given him the parts. We've kind of showed him that we are backing him. And now he's able to put in the performances on top of having those better parts. I mean, are those parts really? Are they really 2.5 seconds faster than his teammate? Is there really that much of a disparity between the parts? I don't think so. I think maybe Henny Holgersen is just a really confidence driver. And what I mean by that is that when he's not going his way, he really goes into his shell and he struggles. But when it is going his way, he thrives. And, that's the thing, is that confidence breeds confidence. So that's maybe what the situation is with Henny Holgersen. Now we're going to pick some more tunings here. We're focusing on the steering again, just because the numbers seem to have gone that way. And they kind of have, and they've almost got the golden tune done on the steering for Henny Holgersen. Let's tune up now. Again, we're focusing on that steering because it really is the most important, because it's the weakest by far for Edward King. And he gets 90. Lovely. Gets 90 out of that one. We've got 4 points left. We'll just spend them and we'll only get 3 back. That's unfortunate. We will send Henny out and we will send King out as well. They look like at the minute they have got completely open track. And yeah, they still kind of do. There's a chance, I suppose. But Rinaldi out in front and Fisher. Is that Fisher? I'm not sure. They're on their in laps. So by the time Edward King is going on his actual lap, he shouldn't be worrying about it. Nilsson has gone faster. Wow, he's so quick in quali, isn't he? He's absolutely rapid. And Henny Holgersen cannot improve, but Edward King has gone purple in the second sector and goes faster than Henny Holgersen. Wow. Okay, so what are we going to credit that to? Are we going to credit that to Henny Holgersen having a bad lap? Or are we going to credit that to Edward King having a really good lap? It may be a bit of both. 11 off the last is very good. Okay, focusing up on the engine now, you can see 1 point left over. But we do get the engine up to 30. We've got maybe 3, maybe 4 tuning sessions left for Edward King. Let's see how they go now. So Edward King was very close to Anders Nilsson there. Very close indeed. It's kind of crazy that we've got the other Ezzolini down in 16th. And he moves up to 9th. So that's much better from Fletcher. Let's see what happens here. So, I mean, Nilsson's gone even faster. Holgersen has gone purple in the middle sector. Edward King goes green. Holgersen into second, but Edward Green stays in third. So our drivers are, look at that, they are so close to one another. I really have to think that Holgersen with the kind of the bonus he's got on the car parts right now, he should be a little bit further ahead than that. I'm just thinking in terms of like Edward King has got a significantly weaker car in terms of the parts, and he's still able to put it basically the exact same race time. I'm not sure about that. This engine focus is working well. And again, there's points left over. That's unfortunate. But 29 scored on that one for Edward King is, you know, it's about average. On we go. I want to see some better. Oh, Woods has gone purple in the first sector. Does he go purple in the second? Yes, he does. Paul Woods about to set one whopper of a lap time. He goes second. And immediately Anders Nilsson says, I see your purple sectors and I'm going to raise you 3 purple sectors. No, just 2. He does improve and does go faster, but ultimately does not improve on that time. And neither of our drivers, mostly because they were stuck behind a little bit of traffic in that one. King got stuck behind some major traffic, whereas Holgersen almost put in a very similar lap time. Let's see what we can do on this next tune. So 1, 2, 2. None of these are good. That's better. That'll do, and make sure we don't waste the point there. So, very close now. I think we should be able to get that golden tune, if I'm being honest. Because we're so close with Henny Holgersen. See what happens over here. Okay, these are good. Yeah, oh, that's unfortunate. There we go. And onwards we go. Okay, so unless cars come out of the pits and ruin the current the current space on track that we have got here, we have got nice open track. We do indeed. So Henny Holgersen, good open track, and King is in the zone. This could be purples here. This could be purples here for Edward King. Henny Holgersen's only managing green. Edward King only managing green. We are 2 seconds slower right now. No. What on earth is that from Anders Nilsson? My word. So we did go faster into the 149s. Then Anders Nilsson goes into the 145s. Are you kidding me? What on earth? He is just outrageously fast in the qualifying sessions. It's genuinely scary. It's a little bit OP. That's going to be too much. Oh my word. There we go. Well done. I thought for a second there we weren't going to get the golden tune with Henny, and I was like, what? But we should be all good. Okay, now we just got to try and get as many points as we can into... Oh, okay, that's fine. 34. I don't know if Edward King is going to be able to get that golden tune on the chassis. Henny Holgersen, I just need some absolute flying laps now. That's what I need. That is what is required of you. If you wouldn't mind. So let's just see how this laps goes for Henny Holgersen. First sector is green. Brilliant. Second sector is green again. Brilliant. And he will go faster if he can keep the third sector in the green, which he does. And even then, unfortunately, is still behind Edward King. And I don't think we're going to be able to get another lap in. So we may end up finishing where we are, or potentially even lower. Because we are not going to be able to get that next lap in, even if I send them out straight away. But we will get the tuning in, which is very good. We will get the tuning in. Okay, I've got to risk it now. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I've got it. Let's go. 63 out of 80 is tough. Almost got it. So the thing is here, you can see on the right-hand side of the screen here with the lap times, Anders Nilsson has that bonus on his quali laps, yeah? So we know that he's faster anyway, but the car is more or less the same. It's very similar. But with a very similar score here, Anders Nilsson is able to put in 6 seconds faster than Edward King. Now that is outrageous. Absolutely crazy. Just ridiculous. So the thing I've kind of, I've kneecapped Edward King by taking those parts away from him. But it is in a bit of an effort to try and bring Henny Holgersson to the party, so to speak. That's what I'm going for. I want to see if Henny can compete. He's going to start in 4th. It's a bit difficult, isn't it? He's going to start in 4th, but he is a good driver. We know he can do it. Let's see how he can go on the race here. There's going to be rain. There is going to be rain. So we're going to have to try and measure this out. So we are pitting as the rain changes. So I think actually, is a hard tyre too much? No, I don't think it is. No, I think a hard tyre will allow us to go straight onto the inters or potentially straight onto the wets. Obviously, the push says that the tyre won't make it, but it will make it. Martin Moino of Hemlock partied a bit too hard. So did Hoffman. So did Eric Lindberg. And that is a little bit too much. Now, we're going to watch Henny Holgersson off the start here. Starts in 4th. Let's see how he goes. He is down to 6th at the moment. We're running 5th and 6th. Make that 5th and 7th. We just sometimes really do not start well. Maybe it's like our Achilles heel or something. Like sometimes we just drop positions and it's really annoying. And that is 8th gone as well. Fletcher. Mendes got Henny there. And we're going to have to stop the push. Stop the burn. And okay, we've got Mendes back. Well done, Henny. That's good. That's at least a start to getting back on track. So at the moment, we can see Edward King running in 4th. Kind of being a little bit equalized with the part change that we've gone for in this race. But he is still running in 4th. And we are, of course, trying to run this tyre all the way. Sorry, I'll move my cursor. There we go. All the way into the wet tyres whenever that happens. Holgersson is trying to get past Fletcher because I feel like once Holgersson does get Fletcher, Lovera won't take long and then we will be able to run 4th and 5th. Of course, if King can get Lefebvre, then that will move us even faster. Woods has got Nilsson at the minute, so running in 1st. King is in the zone, so he can have a push and a burn. Let's see if we can get Henri Lefebvre before Edward King's stress level hits that red meter mark. He's going to get a notification here saying, I can't get past him. Yes, you can. There we go. He's got the job done. He has got past him. Well done. That's Henri Lefebvre down in 4th now. And we're going to start working on catching Woods, who has actually been overtaken by... Oh, Henny's in the zone this time. Good work. Let's go. We're going to focus on Henny and just hope that Edward King can keep that 3rd place and maybe even push and try and catch up. And there we go. That's 6th done. And 5th, my word, Henny Holgersson in the space of one curved straight. You know, it's not really a corner. It's more of a bend in the road. Has managed to get 2 positions and can't focus. And now we swap back to King, who can focus. And Henny actually put in the fastest lap on that with a 1:46.46. Fastest lap. That gives me quite a lot of confidence that Henny is kind of faster than he seems at the moment. I think when we push and burn with Henny a little bit later in the race, he will show us what he's got. Okay, we're going to calm it down now. Now, what do we have in terms of 3.1? 3.1 on the fuel. So now we are entering that period of the race where we focus on saving some fuel and we will be able to hit 2 times speed. It kind of looks like there's actually not going to be much time on the inters, which is quite curious. Both drivers in the zone, and that is Edward King overtaking Paul Woods, taking 2nd place back. Well, I say back, he was never in 2nd. Or did he start in 2nd? I think he started in 2nd, actually. I'm not quite sure. I can't even remember. And it was about 5 minutes ago. So that's my bad. But Edward King back in 2nd, and he's already kind of done the job of chasing down Anders Nilsson. And he's right on Nilsson's gearbox. He may even get the overtake done. And he just has got it. As we zoom in, he's got that overtake done. He's running in 1st. He doesn't have the fastest car because Henny's got the fastest car. And there's a yellow flag. Luana Lovera has sent it. Now, pitting now onto the Inters is a little bit early. The yellow flag is only going to be about a lap and a half, which would even then only take us to about there, which is still a little bit early. Other cars are going in, and you can see they're... Oh! Nielsen's gone for the hard. Lefebvre has gone for the Inter. Fletcher's gone to the hard. Bregman's gone to the Inter. Fischer's gone for a soft. It's all over the place. We are definitely in the period of... well, that little crossover period is what I mean to say. What on earth? Oh... How has that happened? He wasn't pushing. It's a bit wet, but look, Nielsen's just gone on to the hard tyres. People are going on to slick tyres. Oh, that is horrid. No, oh, that's just the worst thing that could have happened to us. Now, we're going to start on the Inters. Oh, do we even need to? I think we do. I think we do need to start on the Inters, because there is a period where you want to be on those wet tyres, and then we'll pit and go onto the slick tyres for the end of the race. Henny Holgersson, he still holds the fastest lap of this race. That is the craziest part. He was driving really well, but he's lost it, and now we go in onto the race start. Fletcher is in second. We're not burning because that is the thing. Edward King is back to second, and I do believe we'll probably catch Paul Woods relatively quickly here. Now, it is kind of it's really interesting. Look at this. You've got some cars on the hard tyre. You've got Bregman on the medium tyre. And then you've got cars on the Inter. So, obviously, no one thought it was time to go for the full wet. No one was thinking that was the right tyre for this situation. And to be fair, I don't think anyone should be thinking that, because it's never really getting to that point. But the Inters are going to be on for a while. So those drivers on the slick tyres, for example, Anders Nielsen, down in 9th. He would not be expecting to be down in 9th. And is that just because he's on the hard tyre, he's on the slick tyre, so he can't catch up with the guys in front, but he is still faster than, you know, Ribeiro. And no, he's not faster than Ribeiro, because Ribeiro's just got the overtake on both Ezzolinis. I think the Ezzolinis have made a mistake. They are on the wrong tyre. They are moving backwards. However, the amount of time they lose on the wrong tyre, will they gain it back when we pit stop to go back to a dry tyre? That is the question. Maybe they're playing the long game. I don't fully know. But we are just going to kind of see what happens here. Because at the minute, the Ezzolinis are taking a total of 1 point from this race. And that is Nielsen in 10th. So they are not having a good race. Straight up, they are not having a good race. Thompson has gone onto the hard tyre now. So already teams are thinking the Inters are done. Back onto the slicks. And even then, I'm not sure it's just about yes. You know, I don't think just yet is the right idea. And Nielsen is back up to 6th. So maybe they were playing the long game. Maybe they were. You can see the cars here, the 4 cars in front, the lead pack of cars here. You've got Woods, King, Lefebvre, Mendes. 27 seconds down the road. Not pitting yet. Let's see if the others do. Not yet. The gap is at 25, 24, so it is coming down. I think I'm going to make the decision here. I'm going to risk it a little bit. I'm going to pit early. I'm going to be the one to make the decision. Let's see if the other teams are going to do that as well. Are they going to do that? No. No, they're not. So I've gone in early. I'm going on to the hard tyre. The same tyre that Anders Nielsen is on. But do we come out in front of Anders Nielsen? No, we don't. So we're going to have to get the move done on track. And when... See, the thing is... I'm going to slow this down for a second, because the thing is that I could see the gap coming down. Anders Nielsen was picking up pace, and the gap was coming down, which means the slick tyre is already the better tyre. Why I now have proof of that is because Nielsen has jumped both King, myself, and Henri Lefebvre, and we have stayed ahead of Lefebvre and added a gap. So it was definitely the right time to go onto the hard, go onto the hard tyre, and now Nielsen will actually lead this race because of that long game, and he's going to lead this race. We're going to come out in second, so we've jumped the Wayland of Paul Woods, and Nielsen has jumped everyone by going with that restart onto the hard tyre. That is one tactical masterclass. Absolutely crazy from the Ezzolinis, which is, you know, there's a lot of memes about the way Ferrari run their strategies in the real world. You know, their real life race decisions and stuff like that. But in this game here today, the Ezzolinis, otherwise known as the fake Ferraris, you know, they have absolutely nailed it. Even then, Nielsen might get caught because his tyres are used. So that might be a problem. I'm not pushing, and I definitely could be. Yes, I could be. So sorry, I keep doing that. I keep saying pushing when I mean burning. And that's what I mean. Unfortunately, Henny Holgersson has just lost the fastest lap. I am fuming. Not at Henny Holgersson, but just at the severity of the unluckiness there. That was so unlucky for Henny to be the driver who suddenly sends it. What on earth, you know? We had drivers on slick tyres in far worse conditions if you're going to think about the rain. And none of them sent it. It was only Henny, and it's so unlucky. Edward King is right on Anders Nielsen's gearbox. We're going to watch this one as the gap closes and then opens, and then closes and then opens. On the straight here. Curving round, following these kind of nice right angle turns. And there it is. There is the job done. But wow, look at that Nielsen. Wow, they're trading positions. What a bit of racing that was. Trading positions like you would not believe. That was really good stuff. Okay, so King's in the zone. Let's give him a push. And let's see if he can get the job done permanently. Paul Woods is still going fast. There we go. That's the job done. So as soon as Edward King started to push, he got the job done. He's on better tyres. He's got more fuel in the tank. Or, you know, he can burn more fuel because we saved fuel. Now we can rest it. We've got 4 laps to go. The gap is already at 6 seconds. He's feeling good again. Edward King is kind of showing us he is the boss. He is number one. And I feel so bad for Henny Holgersson. I'm not happy with the situation. But Edward King is just proving too dangerous, too fast. He's got 2 laps to go. Well, no, actually, he's got 3 laps to go. He's on the penultimate lap right now. Now it's 2 laps to go. Lap 34, he is on. He's set the fastest lap as well on a 1:49.19. Let's see if we can hold it this time. Last time out, was it King or was it? I don't know who it was. We lost the fastest lap on the very last lap because we weren't pushing because we were making sure of the win. This time, we are pushing. 1:41.19 becomes a 1:40.19. And that is surely going to be the fastest lap as the other cars finish off their race. Really good show from Jan Schaub and Thompson getting a good clutch of points. Bregman in the oh no. Wow. Henny Holgersson, no. Oh no, what kind of luck is that? I'm not celebrating. We couldn't possibly. That is horrid. That is absolutely horrid. We need a replacement. Oh my word. Okay, guys. What I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to pick the driver now. I will let you guys say what you think in the comments. In fact, I'll give you a better look at the drivers real quick. So, it's a bit of a difficult one here because we've got to look at the traits. We've got to look at the points they've got. The cost isn't really a problem, so don't worry about that. I don't know what we can do here. Lots of 0 drivers here, you can see. I don't know if we would go... I don't know if we would go for any of them. If you think there's one that we should go for, then yeah, put it in the comments. I'm not feeling good about that one. So thank you for watching, guys. Yeah, I'll just leave it there.